Irish. What's wrong with the Irish? Did you know that the Irish founded the Aryan Brotherhood? Because the Irish are criminals and they go to prison. But they desegregated, big mistake, desegregated the prisons and then so in 1954, the Irish had to found, according to Britannica, which is an encyclopedia, they had to found, according to my connections, I have connections, I have sources in the prison world, okay? According to my sources, I have multiple sources. They found that, and I think they got this from like a TV show, TV series. But anyway, that the Aryan Brotherhood was founded in a prison, San Quentin no less, up in NorCal, Bay Area, because what happened was they desegregated the prison population, and so they had to protect themselves because black criminal prisoners were R-wording. I know it's not a pleasant topic. The white male prisoners, one of them fought back. Some of them fought back. And from that, there was some inspiration, if you want to call it that. Inspiration from whom or what, I don't know. God or Satan. But they did have to band together and protect one another. Or at least that's what they saw to do. Maybe in their blindness, I don't know. But you can't just get R-worded. So they founded that because they kept on getting R-worded, raped by the blacks, black on white rape in prison. So it's not even real S-word. It's degenerate homo S-word, fake S. Sick stuff, huh? But those Irish criminals, they had to do something to protect themselves and one another. And it was some foolish thing. Evil 60s desegregation. Doesn't even make any sense. Even parents know that you separate brothers or siblings, brother and sister, or sister and sister, when they can't get along. And we all know that sometimes you have to separate blacks from one another. Much less the other races. And so I think about these Irish giving us normal whites who are not criminals and therefore not bringing trouble and our word upon ourselves. Thank God. A quote unquote bad name, because most of us whites, we're not into the race thing. Partly because we're not forced into being into it by way of black on white crime and stuff like that, because we're not among those criminals. We get away from them. We keep them separate so we can keep the peace and orderly. And then we allow quality blacks among us and invite them among us. And the blacks, too, separate themselves from the low-quality fellow man. And the whites crack down on their own crime. They have snitch culture. We have snitch culture. We don't have this no-snitch culture. Oh, we tell. Because we don't like that mess. But the Irish became cops, too, I heard. And so they have, like, the code of silence stuff. Those Irish. I'm kind of right. The Irish didn't start the Aryan nation. I'm talking about Aryan Brotherhood. Aryan Brotherhood, prison gang. Kind of like the Salvadorians. MS-13, prison gang. Los Angeles prison gang. Aryan Brotherhood, San Quentin prison gang. FYI. That's right, Irish. That's right, Irish Repub. I'm not kissing up. He's using a vulgar word. I'm not kissing up to cops anymore because I found out that a lot of Irish became cops. And they were not they were like criminal cops. So, and a lot of cops are not whistleblowers on one another when they do wrong. Anyway, shout out to the Irish. I'm just talking about corrupt cultures, really. I love the Irish. I'm for the Irish. I'm pro-Irish. I'm pro-Italian even. I joke around with you guys. Some of you guys get mad, but that's sort of your problem. And I love blacks and the Hispanics and the Asians. I learned the word. You know how the BMW is called Beamer? There's a word for the really Hispanics, the really like Mexicans or whatever, that I learned from the Hispanics. Oh, I look kind of like I look like a beaner. I learned these words from them. And you're like, oh, it's using racial slurs. Calm down. We're cool, Hake. I'm not ginger, but I have green eyes. Nice. Criminal Irish cops. So, history is, although I don't know much about history, I find it somewhat interesting. Modern day debate. In the chat, what's up, man? He says, I heard the word beaner. From Hank in Breaking Bad. Hank, not to be confused with Hake. And he was, I think, a cop. Is he the one who was a cop? Maybe not a straight shooting cop. And the cops are allowed to be racist, quote unquote, because they're around the criminal element of these different races, you know? So, you know, one of my favorite callers, one of my co-hosts, Mark, he's Irish, and he was all into the, you know, the radical pro-white thing, the radical white stuff. Irish. So it's just ringing some bells in me. And I knew another Irishman woman who became like a commie for a short time. Those Irish, shout out to them. They're fighters. They're fighting Irish. They're passionate people. They're squirrely. So, shout out.